Hey there, and welcome to Discover Top 5, the channel where we bring you the most fascinating lists, eye-opening facts, and unforgettable breakdowns of the world's most interesting topics. Whether you're into mind-blowing facts, jaw-dropping discoveries, or just curious about the world around you, you've come to the right place. I'm your host, and today, we're diving deep into something that affects millions of people every day: the cities that are feeling the pressure of explosive growth, overcrowding, and changing landscapes. So, buckle up and get ready as we count down the top 5 most overcrowded cities in the United States, places that are growing faster than they can keep up. From bustling streets filled with every language imaginable to housing prices that are pushing families to the brink, these cities are evolving in ways that can sometimes be hard to keep up with. In this video, we'll explore what happens when the population boom, fueled by immigration, collides with rising living costs, overwhelmed infrastructure, and communities trying to hold on to their identity. Whether you're someone who has lived in one of these cities or just curious about how fast-growing populations are reshaping urban life, this list will give you a unique perspective on the challenges cities across America are facing. It's not all bad news, though. These places are also cultural hubs, rich with diversity, innovation, and a deep sense of history. But as these cities expand, they raise some critical questions. Can they sustain this growth? And if they can't, what happens to the people who call these places home? So grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's kick things off. Trust me, this journey through America's most crowded cities will open your eyes to just how fast the world around us is changing. Stay tuned, because the cities on this list are all about change, and the future of these urban landscapes is unfolding right before our eyes. From skyrocketing rent prices to unmanageable traffic, this is the reality that millions are facing right now. Ready to discover what's going on in these cities? Let's get started.
Have you ever stepped outside and felt like your city was a completely different place than it used to be? That's the reality in Hialeah, Florida, a city that's seeing a dramatic population shift. With a population of over 220,000, nearly 75% of its residents are foreign-born, predominantly Cuban immigrants. Spanish is not just the dominant language in Hialeah, it's almost the only language spoken in some areas. As more people settle here, the job market has adapted, with businesses catering primarily to Spanish speakers. However, the housing market hasn't kept pace with the influx of residents, and this is creating serious challenges. Rent is skyrocketing, but wages aren't following suit. For those who don't speak Spanish, navigating the city can be difficult. Traffic congestion, overcrowded schools, and an increasing cost of living make it clear that Hialeah is feeling the pressure. Yet, Hialeah isn't the most immigrant-packed city in Florida. There's another place that's seeing an even more significant cultural shift. Miami is often referred to as a city that feels like you've crossed a border, and for good reason. Nearly 60% of Miami's residents were born outside of the U.S., which makes it one of the most immigrant-heavy cities in the country. Known for its vibrant nightlife, beautiful beaches, and booming economy, Miami is also ground zero for the housing crisis that's spreading across the U.S. The median home price in Miami has surged past $500,000, and average rents are now approaching $3,000 a month. As more immigrants continue to flood into the city, the population density is intensifying. Traffic jams are endless, schools are overcrowded, and wages are failing to keep up with inflation. While some are thriving in Miami's cultural paradise, the majority of residents are feeling the squeeze. The Miami dream is becoming increasingly difficult to afford. Now let's head to the west coast to Fremont, California, a city where nearly half of the population, 47.5%, is foreign-born. Fremont has become a magnet for highly skilled immigrants, particularly from India and China. The tech industry in Silicon Valley has driven this massive influx of people, and Fremont is feeling the expansion on a nearly uncontrollable scale. This city is not experiencing typical overcrowding. Instead, its growth is driven by the demand for high-tech talent, with major tech companies located nearby. But with a staggering median household income of $155,000 comes a huge catch. Housing is nearly impossible to afford. The median home price in Fremont sits at $1.5 million, and even a basic apartment rental costs $3,000 a month. Traffic is a nightmare as commuters try to make their way to nearby tech hubs like San Jose and Palo Alto. Fremont is also one of the least American cities in terms of its native-born population, with local businesses catering primarily to non-native speakers.
The diversity here is incredible, but it's also raising concerns about how much change a city can handle before it loses its original identity. Just across the river from Manhattan lies Jersey City, New Jersey, one of the most densely populated cities in the U.S. Over 41% of its residents are foreign-born, and waves of immigrants from places like India, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic, and Mexico are fueling the city's rapid expansion. But Jersey City is feeling the squeeze. As it grows, housing prices have soared, with average rent for a one-bedroom apartment reaching over $3,100 per month. Home prices have surged by 35% in the past 5 years. There's no room to expand outward, so the only option is upward. But this has created a bottleneck, putting a strain on public transportation, schools, and essential services. With the city's location so close to Manhattan, it's also seeing an influx of people looking for a cheaper alternative to New York City. Despite these pressures, more people continue to move to Jersey City, attracted by its proximity to the Big Apple, but they are often met with overcrowded conditions and a city struggling to keep up with demand. Irvine, California is known for its pristine design, master-planned communities, and a robust economy fueled by skilled immigration. Over 40% of its residents are foreign-born, with many coming from countries like China, India, South Korea, and Taiwan. But despite its reputation as a wealthy, upscale city, Irvine's rapid transformation comes with its own set of challenges. The median household income is a staggering $117,000, and home prices hover around $1.3 million. However, this city is becoming more and more exclusive. It's not designed for the working class but for professionals and tech executives. The city boasts the University of California, Irvine, which attracts thousands of international students each year. Many of them settle in the area, but they too face the challenges of high rent prices and a lack of affordable housing. As Irvine becomes increasingly dominated by foreign-born residents, questions are being raised about the city's identity. English is becoming less common in schools, and many local businesses cater primarily to Asian and Persian communities. The city's transformation is one of the most dramatic in the U.S., and it's leaving some to wonder. How much change can a city handle before it stops feeling like part of the country it's in? San Jose, California, the heart of Silicon Valley, is another city feeling the pressure of rapid growth. Nearly 40% of its population is foreign-born, and the city has become home to some of the biggest names in tech, including Apple, Google, and Adobe. With that comes a surge of skilled immigrants from India, China, and Vietnam. But San Jose's success is also its downfall. The median home price is a staggering $1.5 million, and rental prices are pushing $3,500 a month for a one-bedroom apartment.
Even those working in high-paying tech jobs are struggling to keep up with the cost of living. The city's infrastructure wasn't built to accommodate this kind of rapid expansion. Traffic is brutal, public transit is limited, and schools are overcrowded. Yet, despite these challenges, the allure of Silicon Valley continues to pull in ambitious immigrants, creating a population boom that could push the city past its breaking point. Los Angeles has long been a symbol of opportunity, with its world-class entertainment industry and diverse population, but it's also one of the most overcrowded, immigrant-heavy cities in the U.S., with 37% of its residents born outside the country. LA's diversity is a double-edged sword. While the city is home to massive immigrant communities from Mexico, El Salvador, the Philippines, China, and Korea, the housing market has become a nightmare. The median home price in LA is a jaw-dropping $900,000, and rent for a one-bedroom apartment can easily top $2,800 a month. With limited affordable housing, many families are being forced to live in shared spaces, while others are pushed into homelessness. LA's homeless population is one of the largest in the U.S. Public services, from schools to hospitals, are stretched thin, and traffic congestion is legendary. Yet, despite all these challenges, LA continues to attract newcomers, drawn by the promise of opportunity and the allure of a city that's become a cultural melting pot. New York City is arguably the most iconic city in the US, and it's also the most immigrant-packed metropolis in the country, with over 3.2 million foreign-born residents. From the bustling streets of Washington Heights to the Chinese enclaves in Flushing, New York is a city where you can hear dozens of different languages spoken in just a few blocks. But this population boom has led to severe overcrowding. Housing in New York is prohibitively expensive, with the median rent for a one-bedroom apartment now at $4,500 a month. Home prices are even higher, and wages aren't keeping up. Public transportation, once the city's lifeline, is now overcrowded and plagued by delays. Traffic is a constant nightmare, and parking is nearly impossible to find. Despite all this, New York still represents the American dream for many. It's a city where anyone can make it if they work hard enough. But how long can the city keep up with the demands of such a massive and diverse population? Anaheim is known for its theme parks and family-friendly atmosphere, but beneath the surface, it's one of the most overcrowded immigrant-heavy cities in the US. With over 54% of the population being Latino and nearly 40% born outside the US, Anaheim is feeling the weight of its own growth.
Immigration has brought significant cultural diversity to Anaheim, but it's also putting pressure on the housing market. The median home price here is over $850,000, and rent for a one-bedroom apartment can easily exceed $2,500 a month. Local workers, many of them immigrants, are struggling to make ends meet on low-paying jobs in the tourism and service industries. Irving, Texas might not be a city you'd expect to see on this list, but it's changing faster than almost any other city in America. Nearly 46% of its population is foreign-born, and it's home to major immigrant communities from India, Mexico, and Vietnam. Irving is growing at an insane rate, driven by a booming economy and an influx of businesses. However, this rapid growth is putting immense pressure on the city's infrastructure. Housing prices are rising, traffic is getting worse, and schools are struggling to keep up with the new influx of students. Yet, despite the challenges, Irving continues to attract people seeking better opportunities and a lower cost of living than places like California.
And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into some of the most overcrowded cities in the U.S. From soaring housing costs to packed streets, it's clear that these cities are at the forefront of a massive transformation, driven by a population boom and changing demographics. Whether it's cultural shifts, economic challenges, or just the sheer speed of growth, these cities have a lot to manage, and it's fascinating to see how each one is handling this new reality. So, what do you think? Which of these cities surprised you the most? Have you ever lived in one of them? Or do you call one of these bustling places home? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about the issues these cities are facing. Or, if you've noticed any other cities that are dealing with similar challenges, feel free to share them too. Your insights could be the perfect addition to the conversation. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more eye-opening content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll never miss an update. We've got a ton of exciting videos lined up for you, and we can't wait to bring you even more fascinating lists, in-depth looks at trending topics, and all kinds of discoveries from across the globe. Whether it's the world's most extreme weather events, mind-blowing statistics, or the coolest hidden gems you've never heard of, Discover Top 5 is here to bring it all to you. And hey, if you liked this video, why not share it with your friends? There's nothing like sharing a good discovery. And we know your friends will appreciate it too. After all, who doesn't love learning something new? Before you go, take a second to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep creating the content you love. Plus, it lets us know that we're on the right track when it comes to delivering the best lists and breakdowns you want to see. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And remember, no matter where you are in the world, there's always something new to discover. We'll see you in the next video with more Top 5 South, deep dives, and everything in between. Stay curious, stay informed, and, as always, keep discovering.